Guys, welcome to a very exciting video. Yesterday we had first of its kind USA versus India match, but in a very cool format. We have 5 players going against each other. Hikaru Nakamura against Gukesh, Arjun versus Fabi, Carissa versus Divya, Sagar versus Levy, and 2 prodigies, Tani and Ethan. Today I'm gonna go through the games really quickly, give you my opinion on the match, and let me know if you watched it and what do you think about this controversy in the end of the match when Hikaru basically threw Gukesh's king in the crowd. I mean, I thought it was fun, but I saw a lot of different opinions on this. But look, it's mostly Indian fans who are obviously disappointed with the result of the match, and many people, of course, don't know the whole context, but I'll explain everything later in the video. So let's start by looking at the game that started the match. Fabi, who just won the Grand Chess Tour event in Brazil, was going against Arjun, one of the strongest players in the world. And we get the following position, very interesting one, and I want you to try and find the best move in this position. Fabi managed to find it. Look, and I'll give you a hint. Right now there is one piece from white side which is not playing at all, and can you find how to improve it? And this piece is queen on a2, and here unfortunately it doesn't really attack anything. Rook d5 sacrifices don't really work, so Fabi goes queen b1, and from now on he played an absolutely beautiful game. So we had rook h3 on the board, queen c2, and now in many lines, let's say rook goes to e3, now there is rook d5, and after c takes d5, queen c8, white are winning the game. So first we pick up a queen, and then what happens is we put double attack on king and rook, and white would have won the game. So rook goes to h6, trying to protect. So now I believe this still potentially could have worked, but you know, it becomes more complicated. Black got 2 rooks, but white's ready to push f5. But there's also a small detail. I think king might be a little bit weak, so there might be potentially troubles and perpetual ideas, perpetual check ideas. So Fabi doesn't go for it, and he knows his position is winning, so he just needs to kind of press, and then everything should go right for him. Rook g2, e6, and now b4. Arjun is obviously trying to create counterplay, and by the way, Arjun cannot resign. He either has to blunder checkmate, basically they have to play on until the checkmate is on the board. A takes b4, and now a3, queen a3, and now the position is hopeless. Queen goes to e8, second queen promotes, and now takes, and after queen to rook c2, queen f3, Arjun allowed checkmate on the board, and that's how the match started. USA 1, India 0, and we got to the second game where 2 young prodigies, Tani and Ethan were going against each other. I actually played both of them on chess.com. I think I managed to win a couple of games, but of course the score is just way high for them. So we got the following position where Ethan is down in exchange. He was playing very brave. I mean, that was one of the most exciting game of the whole match. Rook b4. Right now Tani is trying to set up some threats, but knight is one of the best defensive piece. And you know, all the squares around the king are covered. And now Ethan plays c5, which is a mistake, allowing rook b6. And unfortunately for Ethan, the position becomes lost in a matter of a couple of moves. d4, rook c1, rook e6, and now without queens on the board, the position simply collapses. Takes, and Tani was able to convert this one pretty smoothly. Yes, dangerous pawn on d3, but it doesn't really help. Rook c7, rook c6, and now pawn simply Martian, queen was promoted, and Tani ended up winning this chess game, even though, you know, knights are tricky, he shouldn't blunder any forks, but yeah, he played really well. Some people would actually blunder some forks, but you know, that was a very precise conversion, and Tani made it 2-0 for Team USA, and I think nobody really expected this to be, you know, just one-way match, because when 2 biggest nations, chess nations, I mean, now they're the strongest by far on the planet, I mean, you don't really expect what happened in the match. I don't want to spoil everything. And then we have women going against each other. Two young and very well-known players, Divya Deshmukh, who recently became a Grandmaster, won the Women's World Cup, was going against Carissa. And, you know, even if you think about it before the match, you didn't really expect too much from Carissa, because yes, she's a strong player, but she's going against Divya, who is on fire recently, and Carissa got a huge advantage. And look, this is I can't say Divya played bad or anything like that, but because she knew she's in a must-win situation, she would play something where she would probably get worse, but where, you know, the position is so double-edged that, you know, and sharp, that it can get absolutely messy. But Carissa played an excellent game. So she plays c4, attacking the knight on d5. And now if knight goes back to e7, there is a3, and this bishop is trapped. So knight cannot go to e7. There was bishop a6. Divya didn't play it, she played knight e7, and now after bishop g5, a3 is threatening again, because now this square is blocked. And after h6, I think that's the move of the night. Bishop d8, bishop slide all the way to the, you know, black side, to d8 square, attacking the knight. Knight has to go, and a3 is threatening again. Divya plays knight d5, becomes tricky, but c takes d5, e takes d5, a3, attacking the bishop. Rook d8, a takes b4, and the point is this knight cannot be taken due to the pin on d-file, and now Carissa converted. I can't say very smoothly, but yes, knight d4 is a good find, and now takes on d5. And Divya managed to get some counterplay, but that wasn't enough. It became messy. Divya had like very low time, so Carissa was pushing on the clock. Rook b5, a5, and yes, very messy position, but it's winning for white pieces. And here I believe Divya lost on time, so we didn't see checkmate on the board, but Divya lost on the clock, and the score became 3-0, meaning that USA already won the match after this game. But we had two more matchups to go. Levy was playing against Sagar, and we had Hikaru Nakamura going against the world chess champion Gukesh. So Levy, you know, he wasn't playing under pressure. I believe they played 2 games in total, so this was a 5-minute game. I actually went to sleep after Carissa beat Divya, because you know, they had some sort of break, and I was like, nah man, I have to sleep now. And Rook g8, and I can't imagine like Indian fans were watching it, even though the time difference is insane. So kudos to every Indian fan who watched till the end. So Rook e1, and here Sagar could actually, you know, set up a little trap for Levy. He could play bishop c7. And the point is now, if queen c7, queen f3, and the position slowly going to a lost one, because black just gets a lot of counterplay. But bishop c7 wasn't played on the board, and we got a lot of mistakes. d3, rook d1. So here Levy actually missed queen f6, and he, I watched his recap, he said, like, he played rook d1, he was like, I could take on f6 because rook g7, rook e8 is a checkmate, there is no way to defend on the 8th rank. He played rook d1 immediately, and now rook e8, queen f6, rook d2, bishop a5, rook d1, and bishop a5 played a crucial role, because after d2, queen f4, Sagar blunders again and plays queen d3. And the point is now this bishop is hanging, and queen g5 check is winning the game for white pieces. And Levy took all the pieces, and the score became 4-0. I mean, that sounds crazy. Like, Team India loses 4 matches. That's insane. And then we had Hikaru Nakamura going against world champion Gukesh. The first 2 games finished in a draw, and we got the third one where Gukesh was pushing for a win, bishop e5. But as you might see, the dark squares are extremely weak, and fortunately for Hikaru, the chances started going his way. h5, and here Hikaru already had this beautiful rook d5 idea, and after e takes d5 he can play not rook a7 but queen f6 instead. And then it turns out that there's actually no good way to protect, because let's say king f8, there is rook a7, and now let's say rook c1, king g2, only check, and now queen h8 is coming with the checkmate. There is no way to protect. Rook c7 is one of the best options, but you can take with bishop and then go king d6, win the rook. The position slowly collapses. And h4, king d7, and now king h2, king h7, and skittish. The idea is queen d5, queen goes to f7, and checkmate is about to follow. So e takes d5, and now queen f6. Once again, queen g7 checkmate. Black had to give up a rook, and now queen e6. Bishop f4 is a mistake. Rook e4 here was a good move. b3, rook c1, and rook e4 here once again setting up rook e2. But once again, they were very low on time, so it's hard to find the best moves. So instead, we saw rook c1 takes, and after bishop b2, queen f4, queen f6, there are not a lot of checks. So king f8 and king d8, and that's where the controversy happened. That was the bullet game, and Hikaru checkmated black and threw the king to the crowd, and many people found it disrespectful towards the world champion. I actually found a lot of comments that why everything happens to Gukesh, like Magnus slams the table, you know, Hikaru is throwing the king, even though it was for the show. Like, it happens with Gukesh consistently, something insane. And people say it's a lot of hate towards the world champion, but guys, like, that's a show format. And I mean, from what I heard, they were encouraged to, I mean, that happened even before the match, they were encouraged to do something with pieces, slam the tables. It's the show, and many Indian fans didn't really understand it and said, oh, I lost respect for Hikaru. Guys, are you for real? Like, stop crying. They made a great show. Yes, a sweep, surprising sweep, 5-0, and they will be going to India, where we will see a wild crowd, because I know that, I mean, everybody knows that Indian chess fans are wild, and we might see even a bigger crowd in India, and I think it should be bigger. And I don't think 5-0 sweep will be coming for Team India, because there is no way this will happen. I mean, I didn't really expect it to be that bad for Team India in this match, but 5-0. Team India lost, but I definitely don't think that this will happen in the match in India. They haven't announced the next leg though, so we still gotta wait for the official announcement when it will be held. I just don't think it's gonna happen this year. Like, I hope this will happen this year, but they got a World Cup, they got Global Chess League. Maybe they will put it somewhere in between, but let's see. Yes, a lot of interesting chess is coming into India in the next couple of months, so it's going to be exciting for Indian chess fans and for everybody around. But yes, 5-0, surprising score. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this match, if you enjoyed this format, because I thought it's great. You know, I watched it. It's like, you know, watching some sport event like hockey, soccer, or how we call it, football. For American people, soccer. Okay, I think it was fun. It was fun to watch a lot of decisive results. That's what we want to see in the chess. And yes, hope you enjoyed. See you soon. Bye bye.